Welcome to Over the Goal Line, a Cornell University women's ice hockey podcast by the players and for the players. This podcast will bring you in-depth game analysis, behind-the-scenes banter, and exclusive team coverage straight from the players themselves. Now here's your host, number 23, Finley Frechette.
Welcome back to Over the Goal Line. It's episode 3. I'm Finley Frechette, and I'm so excited to be back and recording. Before we get into it, let's review the past 2 weekends, which were exciting to say the least. Let's go back to when Dartmouth and Harvard came to town. We beat Dartmouth 5-1, and then Harvard 7-0 the next day. Woohoo, that was fun. Then this past weekend, we had our home and home series with our travel partners, Colgate, where we beat them 2-0 at Lina, and then 5-0 on the road in Hamilton. 4 great games that were really fun to play in. Now let's look ahead to the next 2 weekends. This weekend we are home. On Friday, January 31st, we play ECAC foes, Clarkson University at 6 o'clock at Lina. This is our Headway Foundation game, promoting concussion awareness. And then Saturday, February 1st, we play St. Lawrence University at 3 o'clock at Lina. This is our DIFD game, which will be explained a bit more in the player interview. And then the following weekend, we are shipping out to Boston, my favorite road trip of the year, and I know Gillis is the only other person who agrees with this statement. Since we're super close to home and a lot of our immediate and extended family gets to come to the game. We play Harvard Friday, February 7th at 5, and then we head north to Hanover, New Hampshire to play Dartmouth Saturday, February 8th at 3. So for this episode, I had the pleasure of speaking with our captain, Micah Zandee-Hart, number 8. She's one of the most well-spoken humans that I have actually ever met in my entire life. So it's very insightful to talk to her and to interview her about something a little bit different than what I've interviewed other people on, and that is the discussion surrounding mental health. Take a listen. It's episode 3, and here today is our captain, number 8, Micah Zandee-Hart. Micah, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Finn.
Yeah, we're doing this interview in the locker room, actually. We got a little table set up. So this is the first time I've done an interview in the locker room in Lina. So
wow.
There you go. Congratulations.
Your office.
This is now my office, basically. So Micah, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. I'm from Victoria, British Columbia. For those who don't know, that's like west coast of Canada, right above Seattle on a little island. And I have 3 older siblings. I come from like a single parent household. My mom raised the 4 of us. And my siblings are older by quite a bit, so I was like the baby. And I pretty much had my mom, but I also had 3 other parents looking out for me. So
well, how did you end up at Cornell?
Oh man, how did I end up at Cornell? I came to Cornell on a visit in grade 10, and a couple of my teammates at the time said, you know, Mike's like, I could really see you going here. And at that time, I like had no idea, hadn't looked at any schools. Just moved away from home to go to prep school, no idea. And I was like, man, this would be crazy cool if I went here. And then a year later, coach contacted me, and then I was looking at a couple other schools, and I came back for a visit my senior year of high school, and it was just I just knew spending time with the team, the education, the hockey, I knew that this was a team that I wanted to be a part of.
Yeah, Cornell we kind of have a little bit of everything here, and the team definitely was also a huge reason for me why I chose to come here. I felt like they were bonded in a different way than I saw or seen on any of my other visits, and sort of the camaraderie and everything that came along with that, and how coach spoke about the team, about the girls. I thought that was really unique to Cornell, and I think that's a main reason why most people in the locker room looking around chose Cornell as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So looking back on your Cornell hockey career, you've had a lot of points, amazing plays. What is your most memorable play?
My most memorable play, I think, is when we played Northeastern in the NCAA quarterfinals.
Last year.
Mm-hmm. And if we won the game, we went to the Frozen Four, and we were in overtime.
Mm-hmm.
After being up 2-0, gave up 2 goals. We were in overtime, and I put my stick out, and this girl tried to make a pass, and it hit my blade a little luckily, but it worked out. And then my teammate, Di Buckley, came, picked it up, threw an amazing pass up the middle.
One of the nicest passes I've ever seen in my whole life. Doesn't get enough credit.
No, doesn't get enough credit at all. And obviously passed it to your sister Gillis.
Yes.
And Gillis went down and scored on a breakaway. And, like, skating up the ice as a defenseman, like, you get to see the whole play, like, kind of develop. And I just remember watching that, and we had, like, alumni in the corner with, like, their Cornell sweaters on. And obviously,
so
like,
cool.
in that moment, we knew we were going to the Frozen Four, and our team hadn't been in a while. So
yeah,
I think that was definitely it.
Thinking about that play, I always get the chills. And obviously, Gillis is my sister, so it comes up at a lot of family meals or conversations with other whatever. It's always comes up, but I always get the chills when I think about it. And that little play is something that our team really appreciates because we really cherish how good we are on defense and how strong everything starts on defense, and we work your way up from there. And that really shows it. I mean, if your stick wasn't in that spot, Di wouldn't have gotten the puck, she wouldn't have made the beautiful pass, and Gillis wouldn't have gotten the goal. But I think defense is a huge part of why we've had so much success. Before games, Micah goes into this Mica Mode, we call it. Well, I don't know if we call it.
First time I'm hearing about this.
Yeah, Micah doesn't know we call it Mica Mode. And Mica Mode is just focus mode. Laser focus. She goes into the bike room. She lies. I don't know what she does. Lies on the floor, does some breathing. But I want to hear it from you. Can you walk me through what Mica Mode is?
Okay. Well, now I know it's a thing.
Yeah.
Now, okay, it's good to know. I didn't know you guys actually noticed I did that. Okay, Mica Mode. So, as you know, Finley, I'm not someone who likes to be rushed.
Yes.
So, first of all, I get to the rink pretty early. Second of all, I got these new headphones for Christmas, and they're noise canceling. So
they're awesome.
I used to just pretend to ignore people, but now I actually can't hear people.
She used to just have her headphones on and just not play music. Well, you still do that, but now these headphones are just more advanced, and you actually can hear nothing.
Exactly.
Okay.
So yes, I go into the bike room, and I do some mobility stuff, do my shoulder exercises, listen to some music, and then the laying on the ground thing is actually a pretty recent thing, last couple years, but I do some breathing, and then I usually like visualize for like 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay.
So that's what I'm doing when I'm not sleeping.
Okay.
But sometimes
we were like, we can't go in there. Micah's in Mica Mode. Can't mess with Mica Mode.
Yeah. So then I do that, and then after I do that, then I'm like feel more focused, more like set on the game, and obviously set for my spike ball match that comes up after team meeting, which is one of the most important parts of my pregame ritual. And then just doing that little moment to myself, I feel like gets me ready to kind of keep it light and keep it like focused from a team perspective going into the game. So
you talked a little bit about spike ball. Could you expand on that a bit?
Okay, yeah. So we've been playing spike ball, or I've been playing spike ball for 4 years now before every game. Yeah. Started out with a partner who we were pretty good together, Hannah Bunton, number 9. And then Jamie came in as a freshman. We became partners. We used to play against Pippi and Sarah Nee, which was an interesting competition. You can ask
I can only imagine that.
Yeah. And then last year, Gillis stepped in as Pippi's partner, and then now it's Gillis and Amy against Jamie and myself.
So, how many? You guys usually win, right?
We do. Like statistically.
How many times have they beat you?
You know, I think they've got a couple wins this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think last year it was always you guys would win.
Yeah, last year I think they had one win.
Yeah, one win, and they made sure everyone knew that they won.
Yeah. And Jamie and I were actually a little worried about how our play was going to be after that.
Well, I was nervous because it's always like, oh, everyone goes play spike ball, Micah, Jamie win. Yeah. But then Micah, Jamie didn't win. And we were like, oh, God.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
But everything was fine.
Everything was fine. We still played well.
Yeah. That's the thing about rituals. You can have them, you can have your superstitions, but you also got to, end of the day, something doesn't go your way, everything's going to be okay.
Exactly.
It's when you start thinking, oh, my God, I didn't do this, that things don't go well.
For sure. I feel like, too, some people on our team, like, their ritual is to not have rituals.
Yes.
You know?
They don't
want to have that pressure.
Yeah, they can't.
They're going to switch it up every day.
If they do something 2 days in a row, they're like, oh, God. And that is. Yeah. Which coach do you think can make the best lasagna?
Oh. Okay. Let's think here. What do we got? What has Coach recently told us about his schnitzel?
His schnitzel.
Coach Edith, we've had her chili.
Her chili, and she's really good at smoothies. I feel like that's the creative juices.
Yeah. And then Coach Jackson, I mean, I have no idea.
I actually don't know.
Kitchen. I've never heard him talk about that.
Maybe he doesn't have
I went for
any.
sushi with him the other day, but he didn't talk about his own cooking.
Yeah, I've gone to Indian food with him. But
there you go.
Yeah, he's never mentioned his own cooking, so I feel like he might be out.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna eliminate Coach Jackson.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna have to go with Coach Edith.
You think?
I think so. I think she's probably got a good family recipe up her sleeve.
Ooh, family recipe, you're right.
She comes from a tight-knit family, small town, so I feel like they probably had some pretty mean lasagna.
I agree. I like how much you just broke that down. That was good. That's the kind of answer I'm looking for when I ask questions like that. All right, now some Lina Rink trivia.
Uh-oh.
How many people can Lina Rink hold?
Oh.
Tough one.
Was it like 3,700? 3,100? 42. 42.
4,267.
Wow. 67. Okay.
Yes.
For the record, 4,200 was my first guess, but then I got nervous.
You got nervous, so you went
like,
low.
I think it's in the threes.
Okay. Now I want to switch gears a bit and talk about one of our upcoming games, and that's our DIFD game on Saturday against St. Lawrence. Can you explain what DIFD stands for and what it is?
Yeah, for sure. So Do It For Daron was started many years ago when Darren Richardson took her own life at 14 years of age, and her family and her tight-knit group of friends responded to that. Obviously, she was a hockey player, and they responded to that by starting this initiative with her favorite color, which is purple, and trying to raise awareness for youth mental health and kind of start a conversation about that and raise money, raise funds for youth struggling with mental illness and who don't have someone to turn to. And obviously her family being a hockey family, that just directly translated into hockey, and it's kind of taken off. Her older sister Morgan was a senior when I was a freshman, so I was able to be on the team with her, and it's always been kind of something that Cornell holds deep to our hearts, having a lot of Canadian players from the area, and then obviously having Morgan and her family as a part of our Big Red family. So since I don't know when it started, but we've been having our DIFD game, and then obviously, as you know, other teams around the league have also started to do it, and just, you know, we wear the purple hearts, we have the DIFD, Do It For Daron, we've had stickers, patches, many different things to try and create a conversation and kind of use hockey as a platform for talking about mental health.
And just creating an environment where people feel comfortable to start the conversation. Going off that a bit, I know We All Skate Together is also closely related to DIFD. How does that sort of tie into everything that DIFD is representing?
Yeah, so a few of like our Cornell hockey alumni started the We All Skate Together initiative a few years back, and then have kind of carried it through to their teams and programs after they left Cornell. And that's just kind of the idea that no matter what someone's going through or where they come from or what they enjoy doing or anything, when you're in the hockey community, it's kind of that idea that we are all kind of in this together, and no matter what, your teammates or the greater hockey community, and I think we've seen that in the past couple years with a lot of different things that have happened in the hockey community, and everyone comes behind those people, and it's just kind of knowing that you have that support and that no matter what, we all skate together.
Yeah, and it is cool, you know, your rivals on the ice, but in the end of the day, hockey is your love, and we're all doing it because we love it, so that's something in common right there. So sort of putting those rivalries or the on-ice hatred to the side when people need you is really important. So having DIFD games, what do we hope happens as a result of having these games and the conversations around it?
Yeah, I think, I mean, you know, as an athlete and a hockey player specifically, it's kind of this, we have this mindset that we have to be tough for our teammates, and we have to kind of bury things that were happening in our lives outside because we need to, like, plow through and push forward for our teammates and for our team. And that is the idea that you're being tough, is putting those things aside. And I think that's something that's been in hockey for a long time. And I think for us, having the DIFD game and really reaching out to the hockey community and the athletic community in general is just trying to raise awareness that that's not necessarily being tough, and that we can have conversations, we can be vulnerable with each other, we can ask people how they're doing, we can be honest in our answers. There's there's a lot of studies that have come out recently saying that we're actually not that good at reading people, although we think we are. So, asking someone how they're doing and getting a good, it might be more than that. So I think for us, having your DFD game is just trying to start those conversations and make it okay for our team on a smaller scale, but also other hockey players, other athletes in general, to be able to ask each other tough questions, to create an environment where we can talk about things that we're struggling with.
Coming from your perspective, being a captain, what are you aiming to do in regards to mental health and starting those conversations within our team?
Yeah, I think for me, I personally have always been a pretty, I would say, stoic person, and a lot of people, in the past, I've always thought, going to the rink, I needed to put aside what I was going through and like I said earlier, be tough for my teammates. And then I think I've realized as I've gotten older is that if I, as a captain, don't talk about that and be vulnerable with my teammates, then they're not going to want to do that in this environment as well. So I know you've heard me say it before, like, yes, when you come into the locker room, you're a hockey player and you can use hockey as a way to release everything you need to and be in that hockey zone. But I think we also have to realize that when you're on a team of 25 people, you have to create an environment that when you're struggling with something, you're okay to talk to us about it. Because at the end of the day, we're all here for each other. And if one of us is struggling, like, in a sense, we all are.
And I think that once you open that up and you become vulnerable with your teammates, then that translates to success on the ice and into trust and everything. So it all goes hand in hand. Okay, so what have we done this past week in preparation for this DIFD game?
Yeah, so I think 3 years ago we started setting up tables on campus. We set up a table at Trillium Dining Hall, which is kind of close to the athletic facilities. And then this year we actually set up another table kind of more on Central Campus, and we cut out Purple Hearts, and we get students to come and sign their name on a heart and then take a pledge to start a conversation or, create awareness about mental health and mental illness. So that's something we started doing 3 years ago. So this past week we had 2 days where we were tabling and getting students to sign Purple Hearts, and then for our game this weekend we will put them up around the rink, and we will also have hearts at the game for people to sign that maybe haven't been on campus.
I always think that it's kind of special that we table on campus, and we added Willard Straight Hall so that we could get more people that aren't necessarily athletes, because we always see the athletes, we always go to trails, so sort of expanding and going to the entire Cornell community was the goal of also going to Willard Straight. So yeah, there'll be hearts for people to sign and hanging up in the rink. Micah, is there anything else you would like to add?
If you are coming to the game, wear purple. Usually wear red, but this weekend
wear purple. Wear purple on Saturday, red on Friday.
Yeah, there you go. I'm Micah Zandee-Hart, number 8. Go Big Red.
As a reminder, we are home this weekend at 6 o'clock, Friday, January 31st, versus Clarkson for our Headway Foundation game. And then the following day, Saturday, February 1st at 3 o'clock, versus St. Lawrence for our DIFD game. Remember to wear purple for that. And then the next weekend, we have Harvard away on Friday, February 7th at 5. And Dartmouth away on Saturday, February 8th at 3 o'clock. Thanks for tuning in, guys. See you in 2 weeks. Go Big Red!
Tune in next time to Over the Goal Line, a Cornell University women's ice hockey podcast, and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Over the Goal Line. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, and WVBR.com. To learn more about the team, you can follow them on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Cornell W Hockey. Game schedule and tickets can be found at CornellBigRed.com. Until next time, go Big Red!